Two creatures, both wearing shells, both ancient beyond belief. One so massive it could crush a dining table, the other small enough to sit in a teacup. These are not myths. These are real animals sharing the same planet with us right now. Today, we are diving into the ultimate shell showdown. The five largest leatherback sea turtles ever recorded versus the five smallest speckled padloper tortoises ever documented. From ocean giants that survived the age of dinosaurs to palm-sized land wanderers hiding in rocky South African wilderness, this is Ancient Shell Extremes, and it is going to blow your mind. Let us begin with the giants. The leatherback sea turtle, known scientifically as Dermocales coriaceae, is the largest turtle and one of the largest reptiles on Earth. Unlike every other sea turtle alive today, it has no hard bony shell. Instead, its back is covered in a flexible, rubbery, leather-like skin, reinforced with thousands of tiny bone fragments called osteoderms, a mosaic armor that gives it incredible flexibility in the deep ocean. This creature has existed for more than 100 million years, outliving entire civilizations of species. And today, it still roams the world's oceans from the tropics all the way to the icy waters of the Arctic and Antarctic circles. No other reptile on Earth ventures that far into the cold.
Coming in at number 5, we have a leatherback documented off the coast of Trinidad in the Caribbean, weighing in at an already staggering 550 kilograms. That is over 1,200 pounds, and stretching 1.7 meters from nose to tail. Trinidad's beaches are among the most important nesting grounds for leatherbacks on the planet. Every year, between March and August, females drag themselves ashore in the darkness, dig nests with their enormous flippers, and lay clutches of around 80 fertilized eggs. This individual, recorded during conservation monitoring, was satellite tagged and tracked crossing the Atlantic Ocean, over 7,000 kilometers to reach its feeding grounds off the coast of West Africa. At number 5, this turtle is already larger than most adult humans combined. At number 4, we move to the cold waters off Nova Scotia in Canada, where a leatherback was recorded weighing 670 kilograms and measuring 1.85 meters in length. Leatherbacks feeding in Canadian waters are gorging themselves almost exclusively on jellyfish, particularly the lion's mane jellyfish, which can itself reach over 2 meters in diameter. The leatherback's throat is lined with hundreds of backward-pointing spines called papillae, which trap slippery jellyfish and prevent them from escaping back up the esophagus. This individual was estimated to be between 30 and 45 years old based on growth rate models. A midlife adult, still growing, still crossing oceans, still thriving.
Number 3 takes us to the beaches of Gabon in Central Africa, one of the largest leatherback nesting aggregations ever recorded. A female was documented here weighing 750 kilograms with a curved carapace length of 1.95 meters. Gabon's coastline hosts tens of thousands of nesting leatherbacks annually, making it arguably the most critical nesting habitat on Earth for this species. This individual had a satellite transmitter revealing she had nested on this same beach for at least 4 consecutive seasons. Leatherbacks return to the same beaches where they were born, a behavior called natal homing, navigating thousands of kilometers of open ocean using the Earth's magnetic field as a compass. Number 2 is one of the most extraordinary leatherback records in modern science. Caught accidentally in fishing nets off the coast of Wales in the United Kingdom in 1988, far north of where most people would ever expect a tropical sea turtle, this female measured 2.13 meters from beak to tail and weighed an incredible 914 kilograms. That is nearly 1 full metric ton. She was found dead, entangled in ropes, which remains one of the leading causes of leatherback mortality today, alongside plastic bag ingestion, since their jellyfish hunting brains cannot distinguish a floating plastic bag from prey. This individual remains one of the largest leatherback turtles ever officially recorded in European waters.
And now, number 1, the undisputed record holder. Found on a beach in Juno Beach, Florida, in the United States in 1988, the very same year as the Wales record, this male leatherback measured 2.56 meters in total length and weighed an almost unbelievable 961 kilograms, nearly a full metric ton of living reptile. His front flipper span was estimated at over 2.7 meters, wider than most cars are long. He is listed in multiple scientific records as the largest leatherback sea turtle ever officially documented. Males, unlike females, never return to land after hatching. They spend their entire lives at sea, eating, migrating, mating, and this one carried nearly 1,000 kilograms through the Atlantic Ocean for likely 5 or 6 decades. When you look at a photograph of this animal, it is almost impossible to believe it is real. Now we cross from the world's deepest ocean trenches to the sun-baked rocky outcrops of South Africa's Little Namaqualand and the Western Cape. Welcome to the world of the speckled padloper, known scientifically as Cercobius signatus, the smallest tortoise species on the entire planet. While leatherbacks rule the deep, this tiny marvel rules the crevices. The speckled padloper is found only in a narrow strip of rocky, semi-arid habitat in South Africa and a sliver of southern Namibia. It lives among quartz rocks, granite outcrops, and dry scrubland, feeding on tiny succulent plants that grow in those almost impossibly harsh environments. Its shell is beautifully patterned, a mosaic of orange and brown with intricate black speckled markings, which gives it its name. Males are dramatically smaller than females in this species, one of the most extreme cases of reversed size dimorphism in any reptile.
At number 5 in our smallest countdown, we have a female speckled padloper documented during a field survey in Namaqualand, measuring 9.6 centimeters in shell length and weighing 164 grams. To put that in perspective, she weighs roughly the same as a medium-sized apple. She was found sheltering beneath a flat quartz rock, barely visible against the speckled stone. Her camouflage is so extraordinary that researchers can walk within centimeters of one without noticing. This individual was estimated to be around 15 years old, based on growth ring analysis. Speckled padlopers can live up to 30 or even 35 years in the wild, slowly wandering their rocky territories, rarely moving more than a few hundred meters in an entire year. Number 4 is a male collected during a captive breeding program at a South African conservation facility, measuring just 7.7 centimeters and weighing 95 grams. Males of this species are significantly smaller than females, typically maxing out around 8 centimeters, and this individual was already close to full adult size. Despite being barely larger than a matchbox, this tortoise was fully mature, actively courting females, and displaying the surprisingly feisty territorial behavior that male speckled padlopers are known for. They will push, ram, and attempt to flip rival males in competition for mates. An absurdly dramatic battle, when you realize the combatants fit comfortably in the palm of a child's hand.
At number 3, a wild female was recorded during a population survey near Springbok in South Africa's Northern Cape province, measuring 9.1 centimeters and weighing just 80 grams, lighter than even most male individuals, due to what researchers believed was a period of drought-related food scarcity. The speckled padloper's habitat receives as little as 100 to 250 millimeters of rainfall per year, and during severe droughts, these animals can enter extended periods of reduced activity, sheltering deep in rock crevices and dramatically slowing their metabolism. This individual, despite appearing healthy, had likely not consumed a full meal in several weeks, surviving on the metabolic efficiency that tortoises have perfected over 220 million years of evolution. Number 2 brings us to a truly remarkable individual, a male found during a research expedition in the Richtersveld, a remote mountainous desert on the South African and Namibian border, measuring just 6.8 centimeters in carapace length and weighing an astonishing 76 grams. That is roughly the weight of a AA battery. He was fully adult, genetically confirmed as a mature male, and had a shell so delicately patterned that researchers photographed him for over an hour. The Richtersveld represents the northernmost edge of the speckled padloper's range and is one of the most biodiverse desert regions on Earth, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. This individual was living in conditions that seem almost incompatible with life: extreme heat, near zero rainfall, rocky terrain, and yet his species has called this place home for millions of years. And finally, number 1, the smallest speckled padloper ever reliably documented in scientific records. A male measured at just 6.1 centimeters in shell length and weighing a barely believable 60 grams was recorded during herpetological fieldwork in the Western Cape of South Africa. 60 grams! You could hold this tortoise in a tablespoon. He is a fully functioning wild reptile with a beating heart, a functioning immune system, a brain navigating a rocky landscape, finding food, avoiding predators, and living an ancient life in an ancient body, all packed into something smaller than a golf ball. His species has survived ice ages, continental drift, mass extinctions, and the rise and fall of countless dominant species. And he is here,